Welcome to the Daily HiFi Podcast. What is going on, everybody? My name is Chana. With me, we have Joe, Mr. Joe and Tell.
What's up? What's
Today,
up?
I think Michael's going to jump in
All
a
right.
minute. But yeah, what's going on? How is everybody doing? This is the Daily HiFi Podcast. Let's podcast it up.
This Cyber Monday.
Oh, yeah. Did you buy anything? Turn that off.
No, because I bought most of the stuff I needed on Black Friday.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? I don't know about you guys in the chat. Let us know in the chat. How many of you are like me and like the things I want never go on sale on Black Friday?
Is that right? Are you trying to get
some random
or what?
Some random thing, you know, like I remember the teenager needed some new snowboarding goggles. So I was like, oh, $50 off, you know, Oakley goggles. That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, nothing crazy. What about you?
You know, I usually just do most of my holiday shopping on that day because I'm gonna buy stuff anyway, right? So if I'm gonna buy something, you know, might as well get some kind of deal on it,
right?
Yeah, because if I just wait a few days more, the price is just gonna be
go up again. Yeah,
that's it. So that's usually what I do. I don't go out of my way, although when I'm looking for deals for other people. You know, it's funny. Holidays are funny because you're shopping for others, and then you're like, "Oh, this looks pretty cool," and what ends up happening?
There we go.
Yeah. You end up shopping for yourself.
Right. I don't need any more stuff.
Needing stuff. No, actually, I just posted on my community page my wish list. Like, so I have like a public wish list. You know, just I'm like, yeah. I figured a lot of people, they want to support. They always ask like, hey, you know, I want to support. What can I do? And I know me, I don't like to support using Patreon, like just me personally, right? Because I just don't like monthly things. Like I don't like automatic monthly anything. Like I try to minimize those things. So, but you know, there's some other content creators who I like to support, and sometimes like, man, can I just like send you some set amount of money? Like,
yeah.
And so anyway, I posted on my channel my wish list. So I figure if somebody wants to
hey, everybody's here. Woo! What's up, Mike?
Hello.
What's up, Aaron?
What's up? Good to see you guys.
Can we not hear Mike?
I can't
hear Mike.
Can I hear Mike? Hey, you guys let me know because I'm driving right now. Let me know if the road noise gets unbearable. My tires have to be replaced. So
I thought you were about to say you got some new wheels and the tire wall is like super small, like a 25.
Yeah, no, that's it. Basically, I've got rubber band.
You went and got some 24s. Put some dubs on that.
Actually, you sound really clear for some reason.
Yeah, you do. I don't hear any road noise at all.
We good now?
There we go. Can you turn it up?
There we go.
I can, but
all right.
I don't think I really.
So yeah,
pretty loud. How about that?
There you go.
Better. Yeah, there we go.
Very good.
Just to equal like Joe's voice.
There you go.
Yeah.
You don't want Joe over talking to everybody. That's the real problem.
I don't know.
He'll start talking about all kinds of things.
Way up. Turn it way up.
Like, I made a processor and it'll process the cerebro in your brain and take you back to the future and then forward and then back again. And you'll be like, whoa, that was some awesome Atmos. Like, yeah.
Oh man, y'all are talking about Atmos again? All right, I'm
out. Did you guys buy anything for Black Friday
or Cyber Monday
for yourself or other people? I guess you can't say if it's a gift, so don't ruin your surprises. But do you buy anything for yourself?
Not so much. I only bought Gran Turismo for PS5, and then I bought Into the Spider-Verse on 4K.
Oh, okay.
That was it. And then the rest, I did buy a bunch for my son, though, because he's got all the stuff like video games that were on sale and 4K, Blu-rays and stuff. So a lot of that was just easy, man. Like ship that stuff to the house.
That's actually a good idea. 4K Blu-rays and stuff for Black Friday. Yeah, that's Cyber Monday. That should be no-brainer.
Because they're cheap. They're like some of them are as low as $7.
$7. Hey,
$7.
Hey, you got them youth man deals.
Hit that all day. Like I bought Interstellar. Actually, I forgot Interstellar's coming too. So
Oh, cool.
Sweet. Chana, you didn't buy anything for yourself? You didn't treat yourself to anything?
Nah, man, I was busy
Nothing.
DJing this weekend. I,
Oh,
I-
You're
working.
busy. You're
he
busy
was
making it.
listening to everybody chant Techno Daddy.
Yeah.
that was so funny. That was
That
so
was
funny.
awesome,
you know,
man.
you know what was so normally I'm at the main lodge, but they
Mhm.
do this crazy après ski thing at Canyon Lodge, and that DJ is like somebody from LA that they bring up.
Yeah.
And they're not there for another till like Christmas week. And they're like, "Oh, well, Chana's here." And they're like, "Hey, can you play over here?" I was like, "Yeah, sure." And they're like, "Okay, so feedback from the staff is, don't play." So I played Friday. It's like,
Mhm.
don't play as much EDM/techno. Play like classics like Led Zeppelin and AC/DC and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, it's a bit weird. I'm not sure why I'm playing for the staff. Should I be playing for the people spending money? I don't know. Whatever. So I was telling Joe this. I was like, oh, the sound guy needed a song, a signal to come through, and I was about to start. I'm like, oh, let me go to the bathroom. Here, let's play some Led Zeppelin. So I played Stairway to Heaven. This is for our first song. I go to the bathroom, come out, and I make sure I go to the bar and be like, hey man, because I can already hear that they turned off the like bar music, right? Like, hey man, you guys turn off your bar music? And the bartender's like, yeah. Wait, is that you playing Zeppelin out there? I was like, yes. So that at least somebody knows. Well, he played some Zeppelin. And then I just went into like, yo, let's start this party. And then I just said screw it to everything else. And I even banged out some techno too, because they're and the best part is I was like, if you guys have fun today, like in all that like madness, like as soon as like 3 o'clock rolled around, boom, dude, people were just piling in, right? 4 o'clock, I'm like, yo, you guys like the music I'm playing? Make some noise. And they're like, ah, like, do you guys want me to switch it up? And they're like, no. I'm like, there you go. Is that what kind of staff feedback am I going to get today?
Right.
So it was kind of like a middle finger to like whatever I was told to do. And I just went with my instincts, right? Because I've been DJing for like 20 years. I know what people want to hear. And I'm sorry, when they want to party, they're not listening to Freebird, Chris. I'm sorry, bud. They're not. They're not. They want to hear boots and cats, that's really what happened. And then I did a bunch of like house music, all these different flips and old stuff. Although I did have this like one God, what is that group? Is it Fleetwood Mac? I think it's a Fleetwood Mac song. It's a brand new remix. Like techno. Chris comes in with the $4.99 Freebird super chat. Well, we appreciate it, Chris. But yeah, you know what's funny? So I told Joe all this yesterday.
Yeah, I've heard this whole thing, guys.
So this morning, Boss Man hit me up. Didn't say anything about the music. He's just like, "Can you play again next Saturday?"
There you go.
No, there it is. There it is. The market will decide what music is played.
It's like back in the day when I first got into web development, and clients would say, "Can you put like some music in the background?" And I'm like, "No, that's dumb. Let me do my job. I know what's best. You don't design websites, so let Aaron do his thing, man."
Yeah,
Aaron, did you pick up anything for Black Friday?
No,
nothing. Zero.
No, because I had to buy a new windshield today, which was $527 because insurance cover it. And then that's me paying full out of pocket, and then I've got to buy a new set of tires, which is over $1,000. So yeah, dude, I got nothing.
Did you have like a crack in the windshield?
Yeah, so it started off as long story is about 2 years ago, I got a big old rock that put a chip in my windshield, and then I got it replaced. And then a month after that, I got a small chip, and then within 2 months total, I got 3 across the front windshield, like across like right over the front. Yeah. And then I've been living with them for like the last year. And then a couple of days ago, the crack started like growing as I was driving, and I said, "Yep, it's time to get this replaced." So is
it from trucks? Are those from trucks?
No, well, I drive 40 miles one way every day, so 80 miles round trip every day. Yeah. And the one interstate that I drive on, they're always doing something there, man. So it's shredded my car.
Just slings it up. In Florida, we get ours replaced for free.
That's nice.
I mean, literally, I'm surprised like y'all don't have something like that. It's somehow it's
Well,
covered under the insurance.
Right. It would be if I wanted it to be, but
Okay.
I don't have that. And then the deductible that I have is higher than the
Yeah.
cost of the glass.
Yeah, that
you
makes
know?
sense.
And
Yeah.
well, I'm probably going to be changing my insurance company in the coming months. So I will be looking for that as an option because
Gotcha.
at this rate, it's like every 2 years I'm having to replace the windshield. And it's
Right.
not because I want to. I drove around with 3 big old dings in it for a year.
Yeah.
You know, the only reason I replaced is because I had to.
Right.
Started spreading.
Yeah.
That stuff
Yeah,
works
while I
though. The
was
stuff you
driving,
put
it
in the
scared me.
windshield that like kind of like seals it up. I've
Yeah.
done that
Works
before.
pretty
And
good.
it helps. Yeah.
Yeah, it does help. But
Yeah. That's not good to hear.
Uh-oh.
Spending on stuff you don't want to spend on is never fun.
no,
I bought some
absolutely
stuff
not.
though.
I
I bought a
see
few
that.
things. I bought oh man, this is kind of funny. Chana and I have been raving about these like monoliths, the satellite THX speakers, right? And I reviewed a 5.1 system and I had 2 from a previous one, but I'm like, I need more in here in this room. I want to do 7.1.4.
Right.
So I actually had to buy some, which feels really weird. I don't know about you guys, but it feels weird to buy speakers when I have a garage full of speakers. It just doesn't
Dude,
feel right.
I bought another pair. I bought another pair.
You did?
I was like, I don't want to bother Hobie with it.
I know.
I'm like, I'll just buy a pair. It's only like $200. Like what?
Yeah. So they were on sale. So I'm like, this feels really, I don't know. It just feels like to me like wasteful almost. Even though it's the right thing to do, right? It's the right speaker to have all matching ones. I'm like looking around, like, what else can I use? Like, no, I don't want to. I don't want to mix and match. It's not good.
Yeah.
But it just feels so weird to, like, it just feels wasteful almost when you just have so much audio equipment sitting there, not being used. So, I asked Angela. She said, "You know what? Just why don't you get rid of some of that stuff? Make some space, but buy the speakers." I'm like, all right. You're right. It wasn't a money thing. It was just more of like a mental block.
Dude, it's a space thing. I still have these other 11 speakers here on the ground. I still have to put those back in storage.
Giveaway.
Man. I got a ton in my garage.
Giveaway, or maybe I'll sell them off on I don't know, to
offer up or let go or whatever.
I don't know. Send some to Ike for review. Yeah. Well, we'll figure out something, but it is what it is. But I just want you guys to know that I purchased these speakers, right? So I wouldn't buy speakers that I thought were straight
Not
crappy.
good.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But here I am buying speakers when I have a ton. Joe and Sell garage sale. I like that. Yeah.
Joe and Sell.
There it is.
Oh,
that's cool.
Oh, with a surprise appearance from Fresh Hater Jay.
Yeah.
Nah, man, he's gonna dissuade you from buying it. Nah, you don't want to
buy anything.
I heard Sean in the back of my head saying, "Man, don't be cheap, bro. You don't spend money." I was like, Jeremy, dude, I spent a grip of money. Jeremy didn't want to spend on this one particular thing. Just this one thing.
Jeremy's like in our text is like, "Oh, you got to check out this Atmos movie on Netflix." And Joe's like, "Oh, do you have to have the max Netflix thing?" I'm like, "Dude, you don't have that. What is that? $5 a month?"
No, because I have Netflix because T-Mobile like adds Netflix, but I barely open that thing. I opened it the other day and realized like, oh, is this new season of what is it? What is the Karate Kid? What is that? Cobra Kai?
Cobra Kai. Yeah.
How long has that been out?
Dude,
the latest season.
3 or 4 seasons?
September.
Okay, so I just found. I'm like, oh, I didn't know season 5 was. That's how long it's been since I opened that thing. So Chana's clowning me because I don't have the 4K version, and yet I don't even open the existing one. So what is that use?
Not a big deal, right?
So I guess the reason we're saying is just because Reverend Slim was saying how good Atmos is on that. What is it called?
1899 or something?
1899 something. Yeah, well, 1899.
Yeah,
but you have to have the 4K to get Atmos. So if you want 4K Netflix, you gotta have the app. If you want Atmos on Netflix, you need to have the 4K version.
Yeah.
Anything else new with you guys?
My son's having a baby tonight. His wife.
Oh, pop in the house.
Yeah. So they go in at midnight. And they'll be she'll be induced. She's ready. Oh my gosh.
She's ready. She's ready. She's like, I'm over
Congratulations.
this part of it.
Thanks,
Yeah,
brother.
Congrats, man.
Yeah.
You're a grandpa.
Yeah. Papa. Sounds
Right,
younger.
this is your first
This-
grandchild, right?
That's correct. This is my first.
Oh, this is the one we
Cool,
saw
man. Awesome.
the notice or the like
Yeah. That's
right, earlier.
quite a long time ago when they first found out. So yeah, man, appreciate it, Angela.
Probably
Yeah,
like
we're
9 months
excited.
ago. I had to go.
Tim.
Cool stage of life, man.
Tim says grandpa, man.
Yeah.
Grandpa Man reviews.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next, there's going to be some diaper reviews and
There's gonna be grandpa deals.
There you go.
grandpa deals. There it is. There it is. I got this baby rocker for $5. It's electric,
That's
app
funny.
controlled. it'll even turn on the heater. I'm kidding. You guys don't need a heater in
Nah,
Florida.
I got the fan on right here, dude.
That's so crazy because it was like cold as balls this weekend, and we're gonna get another snowstorm this week.
73 in this room right now.
It's chilly outside. Jessica and I just got back from a walk probably about 30 minutes ago, and so, but it feels good.
What was the weather like over there in the Philippines?
Hot and sweaty.
Humid. Yeah. You just get out of the shower and you're already sweating.
Yeah. But dude, that was an awesome trip. Super cool, man. Definitely want to go back again. We have kind of like more time just to spend because we were so close to technically there's 7,000 islands in the Philippines. That blew me away.
That's
and
crazy.
some of the most beautiful beaches in the Philippines, and we're like right there, and it was all work, man. So, but I'd love to go back sometime and really just spend some vacation there, and of course visit Otto Ryu again and Doug Kramer. That was an awesome home theater tour there. So, just fun stuff, man.
What'd you call it? I remember you saying something Pamposa or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
You said I've heard you say that like maybe I don't know, like 20 times. I'm like I think he likes saying that.
Yeah,
he likes saying that name.
It's a cool
Kinda
name,
funny.
man. Like Pamposa. It just sounds cool, man.
Oh man, yeah. So how many days were you over there in the Philippines?
3.
3 days.
Wow, that's a
You
long.
spent more time on the
travel for 3 days.
airplane.
I promise. Yeah, we left on a Thursday, got there on a Saturday. Go figure that one.
How
Just
come you
because
didn't
of
stay
the
for a
time thing.
longer period of time? It would have cost you the.
Two-
I guess it would have cost
two-
them more money, but
Yeah, really 2 reasons. Like I paid for Jessica's flight, so that was
Yeah.
$3,500 for that.
dropping money on the. See, that's where he spends his money, Chana.
Yeah,
He spends
Dude,
money on wifey.
but I'll spend money on family any day of the
Okay.
week.
All right.
Any day. I tell my kids, our saying at my house is, "It's only money. You can always make more."
That's
can
what
always-
I say.
I'm serious. I can always,
That's what I say.
you can always do another job. You can always do another.
Yeah, it's time to
wedding,
buy a
you can always
Porsche.
do
It's
a-
just money.
He's
Whatever.
talking. He's starting to sound like techno dad now, huh?
Oh, Joe, just sit back and let's let him cook, man.
Uh-oh.
Let's let him go.
They always have these
Let
always
me
have- they always have
financial
these
plan for
financial
you.
discussions. I'm like, oh, kind of turns into financial planner for Michael. Michael's
Great.
like, it's just like opposites.
And
when it
those,
comes to
yeah,
spending.
for those who don't know, like my favorite part of when they're arguing back or talking, but this actually arguing back and forth is like Joe will tag me in the chat because I'll have it on mute and I'll be like, "Oh, it must be important." He tagged me, and I'll chime in. And
Like,
I'll just see
no.
these two guys going back and forth, and I'm like, "All right, I'm back out." You know, I don't want to be here,
funny.
like witnessing a crime.
It's like an 8-hour thread, you know.
I know.
It's
Sometimes,
great.
I'm
sometimes
sure.
you egg it on though. Sometimes he like throws in a little something when it starts to slow down.
Yeah.
Just
I
throw
don't-
in a little.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh man, yeah, we have fun.
But yeah,
We have a good
to
time.
Answer your question, Joe. So the biggest reason that we didn't stay longer is 2 things. Number one, she really wanted to go back to school this Monday, so today.
Mhm.
And then the other thing is we knew that the baby could come anytime. So the last thing we wanted to be is over, in another country and not be able to have access to our grandbaby. So
Why don't you always have you always have a your priorities straight? Let's just say
try,
that.
man.
As far as I'm concerned, I think the
I'll try.
priorities are
Well, the
right.
cool thing is, like I said, we can always go back again.
Yeah.
And if we did, we realized,
Right?
like,
It's just money, right?
yeah,
It's
I
just
mean,
money.
we were in South Korea for 2 hours at the airport, and it's like, dude, we're in South Korea.
Yeah.
You
You
know,
could
would've
even
been
like
Would have been awesome
Yeah.
to check out the culture there, and then Australia was just south of us.
mhm.
Looks like about that far. I don't know how many hours.
yeah, that far. It's not.
You can always make more money, but you can't make more time.
That's right.
Like
That's what I always- that's what I
time
always say.
once it's passed, it's done.
You
So
will never, ever, I tell people, you will never regret the time that you spend with your family. Ever.
that's right.
Yeah, unless your family are dicks.
Yeah.
Then you're like, why did I come here?
You just need to get some better
Mm.
friends or something, or another hobby.
Sometimes your friends are your
In that
family.
case.
You know.
That's awesome. Man.
I mean, I've seen a lot of like TikToks about people going to Thanksgiving. They're like, why am I here? Like, you know, they're like, what did I do? Why am I don't need to see this.
Oh goodness.
Dre
you know-
Barnes, real quick, to answer
Yeah.
your question, he was mentioning he says he'd been waiting on Joe's Magic Beans videos, but he seemed to drop that project. No, I have not dropped the project. It was
It's
just that
it's not free. Not free.
there were things that I had to do first, right? I was talking to Michael. I was just telling Michael about his priorities. So certain things you have to do before other things, right?
That's right, man.
So if you notice, I was talking to I was talking to various companies to see if I could possibly implement this into
Their
into their system.
products.
And so I need to check that first, right? And if the answer was yes, then that's kind of a big deal.
Absolutely.
But let's just say that I'm moving forward from that. So you will see updates with that. So believe me, I haven't forgotten the project, nothing like that. It was I've been wanting to do more stuff, but you guys will see very soon. I'm not the type to start something and not finish. All right. So
yeah.
it's gonna
I mean, if it's how many people are watching? 88. Hey, that's a good number. 88 of you watching right now. Keep your credit cards ready.
Where's the
Mid-December.
Black Friday deal, Joe? Come on, man.
Mid-December.
Mid-December.
Something's happening. All right.
Oh man.
Mid-December.
Oh, man. They're not
It's
ready.
gonna be on and popping, and there
They're
ain't
not
no
ready.
stopping.
They're
So
not
yeah,
ready.
just be ready. Just be ready.
Oh man.
Be ready. But yeah, Dre, I think no, you called. I was actually driving to the show, and and Joe was like, "Hey man, I got a client on here, and he wanted to know about some speakers." And so I'm driving home, and like about to go to the show, I had to pick up something at home, then go park the car, and just talking to them briefly. So he's still doing it. But it's not a free thing,
Oh yeah, for sure.
It takes a lot of time.
Yeah, I was just telling my one of my clients, done some calibration for him, and he always buys new speakers. He moves the whole room around, so I've done calibration for him a couple times, and he just wanted to, just get he got a whole new system, Black Friday, and so I wanted to include Shauna because he was using these speakers that we're using here, and I'm like, I don't know, you can ask him, see what he thinks, and that was basically it. He ended up buying 3 of those, Shauna. The 5.1 systems.
He bought
3 of them. So that's awesome.
He bought 15 speakers and 3 subwoofers.
That's how he rolls.
Hey.
So yeah, what you call it? Yeah, you guys are gonna see updates very, very soon. As far as the masterclass stuff, what I plan on doing is maybe just sending out an email to the people who are part of the newsletter and just letting them know, like, I'm going to do a class of maybe 8 people, something small, whoever the first 8 people to respond, and we'll do like a trial run, and it'll be like a extremely discounted rate. You know what I mean? Like, I'll teach you guys, and then you guys can ask me questions so I know what you guys don't know, and then maybe make that as part of one of the first lessons. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But because they're part of the trial program, I'm going to have to drop the price a lot. So that's the plan. Keep an eye out for that. Let's see here. I have a few topics.
All right.
There's
There's a couple of questions.
Yeah. You want to get to some? Go for it.
Yeah. One asks, I want to replace my HDMI 4K cables. Any recommendations for budget 3 to 10 foot max length?
Chana does.
I actually tested a whole bunch. So HDMI test. I'm getting you the link right now. Anything on this list is pretty much good to go. Copy and then drop it into the chat. Oh, post a comment. These are HDMI cable Rex. And those are from the ones I tested. I don't know if I can test with the new Marantz Pre-Pro.
Oh, is it the one you plug it like kind of
yeah.
type of deal?
Yeah, and it'll it'll test like to 40 gigabits per second because that's like the top bandwidth. Nothing's 48 yet cable wise. I mean, actually, no, the cable wise are, but I think those ports on the back of the Marantz are only 40 gigabits per second.
Okay, so you have a link there.
Yeah, I just dropped it into chat. It's called HDMI test or something. Yeah.
right there.
Go
And
there.
it is case sensitive, so make sure when you type that in.
Well, it's
Yeah.
clickable. They should be able to
It's
just click
clickable
it.
in the
I'm
chat. I
just saying
think.
if they're watching later on.
Oh,
sure.
right on. Right.
There
Yeah.
it is.
Anything on that list, and you'll see how many times it passed out of 50 times. So, you know what's interesting? Some of them will only do like the 1 meter, 2
Mhm.
meter, 3 meter, 5 meter, and some of them will be like 2 foot, 4 foot, 8 foot. So like these odd, so the
Right.
odd ones, right? Because 2 meters, 6.6, right?
Mhm.
So they'll do an 8. Otherwise, you go up to like 9.9, right, or 10. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. All right.
So let's see here. Let me just show you guys this
Yeah,
real
show-
quick. I
show-
thought this
show
was
it.
real interesting. Chana, you saw that video I sent you of the synthesizer type of deal?
Oh yeah.
That thing looked cool, right? It was making some cool sounds. Anyway, that
the pedal, yeah.
that same guy did this video, and I just thought it was really, really cool. So who here has a Sonicare? Anybody have a Sonicare?
A
Oh
toothbrush?
yeah, like toothbrush.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
all about the
something like that.
Sonicare, right?
Yeah, I've got something.
And
like
he goes and uses a Sonicare and tries to like use it as a synthesizer,
Mhm.
right? And I thought this was interesting. So he has a mic, a pickup from a guitar, and
Mhm.
he's
Yep.
just playing it. But look at the sound that it makes, Chana. You see that?
Yeah.
C4.
C4, yeah.
So what is that for the people who may not know?
Well, so middle C, is like the center of the piano, right? And so that's kind of like where you sit at. And C4 is the fourth. That's the C.
Mhm.
So it's playing a middle C.
So yeah, 261.6 hertz is showing up here, which is kind of crazy. Like, did they tune this toothbrush to have a certain sound? Because some people are like, hey, I noticed when I'm brushing my teeth and I'm listening to music, it kind of goes with a lot of music.
Mm.
Like, what?
Well, C major is one of the easiest keys to make music in because it's just all the white keys. You don't play any of the black keys. So it's relative minor is A minor, which a lot of songs are written in A minor. That intro riff, Guns N' Roses, Sweet Child of Mine, that's an A minor riff.
Yeah. I just thought that was a weird like little interesting
was it a
thing.
coincidence, or did they intentionally do that?
Well, for what is the there's some TikTok about this one girl I saw was saying that she just put out an album in a certain frequency. So normally most instruments are tuned to 440, but it's like 436 or something like that. It's like this golden ratio or something, and just it has this overwhelmingly like uplifting subconscious kind of thing going on with the music because it's tuned to a different frequency. So like the frequency of nature or something like that. I don't know. 436 is that it?
Yeah, I just drive around listening to just that tone only.
Yeah,
that's how he gets on the next level. He just puts on that tone.
Yeah.
He gets to the
yes,
next
but
level.
but what's the one downside, Aaron?
What is it?
You tell me. I don't know.
It's you lose that hair, bro.
I don't know about that, man.
Then you use the low frequencies when he has to go to the bathroom, right? Everything is just based on notes. Just using different tones whenever he has to do something. Yeah. Well, it was interesting because this leads to another thing. I need to hook up a bunch of speakers in this small room. So it's no secret I'm setting up 7.1.4 in here to do some Atmos stuff. But that's a lot of channels that you have to amplify, right?
Nope.
And surprisingly, it's hard to find amplification for that many channels, like in one unit, right? A lot of the stuff is like outdoor speaker stuff, and I don't know if I want to do that. But so right now, it's ridiculous because these little tiny cube speakers, they don't need much power, especially at this distance. I mean, in a larger room, yes, but at this distance, I can touch one right here. I have a Parasound A52 Plus down here. Under my desk, like I'm touching it with my foot right here.
Wow.
And it's ridiculous. It's way too much power. And I could easily fry all of these in a second if I mess up. But the interesting thing is it's an expensive amp, but at this distance, I can hear some hum, right? So this relates a little bit to that toothbrush thing. I can hear a little bit of hum from it. You know, it's not perfectly silent like I would prefer for an amplifier.
Yeah.
And it's because it's putting out, I mean, it's a ton of wattage coming out of this. You know, it's a powerful amplifier. And these power amps are at full blast all the time. There's no gain. It's just, they're max.
It's on. Yeah.
It's on. And
that's
it's
why you need a
max
preamp. Hence the.
That's right. So it was an interesting thought. And I don't know what you guys think about it, but people always ask, like, can you tell the difference between amplifiers? Is there a, you know, sound difference that you can notice? And I would normally say no, you can't. But the interesting thing is there's definitely a difference between the hiss or the hum or the distortion on this one and another crappy amplifier, a little class D crappy one that I ended up throwing away because it had so much hiss that it was annoying. But the hiss.
So you're saying is it the noise floor? Difference in the noise floor?
The sound of the noise floor is different. And the funny thing is the noise floor on this Parasound is not annoying. It's like a pleasing sound.
Maybe it's in C. Maybe it's middle C.
It's too
no.
So I'm just kidding.
I swear to you, when I listen to it, it's like I would rather not have it, but it's not like the other one was a high pitch, like a hiss, right?
Right.
Yeah,
this one is a more
something more annoying.
You know the sound.
Yeah, like
a nice tone. I'm not annoyed by it. And it's
that's not the Aaron tone. Please, no more Aaron tone.
No. Do you want to hear the most annoying sound in the world?
Oh no.
Remember Dumb and Dumber?
I remember that.
Oh.
All right.
Oh, right.
In the truck.
Yes,
so,
truck,
so is there something to that though? Where
we'll see.
Yes.
If it's gonna have some kind of distortion, some kind of sound that you don't like, is that a hint as to maybe the tonality of that amplifier? I don't know.
It's probably.
It got me thinking.
Probably. People say they have characteristics, but
I would definitely say I agree with you on the noise floor stuff. I mean, like car audio, you can run into some really crappy amplifiers really fast, and you notice it more because you're so much, like you're always in the near field of the car. So if there's any background noise, it's just like super amplified. It's so annoying. That's one of my pet peeves, but it's sometimes depending on what you got, it's hard to get around it.
Would you say that there's such thing as a like noise floor that sounds pleasing? Like how about this?
Pleasing noise floor.
Hey, it sounds weird, but like a guitar.
Joe,
amp,
you are creating a new audiophile or argument. I like this Bryston amp, but compared to the Parasound, the noise floor was just scintillating.
Yeah,
I heard angels in the noise floor.
Joe, I think you're crazy if I'm being honest, but whatever. I like this noise floor more than the other one. Oh, okay.
What else is new? No, it's just some of the hiss is just so high pitched and annoying. Example is like, how about when you plug in an amplifier, like when you watch like a live thing and in a movie, they plug in the guitar, it's like like Back to the Future, right? He plugs it in, it's like it makes a high pitch, but then you hear the hum of that amplifier, right?
Right.
It's not a hum that I'll be annoyed by. What is that? What does that mean?
I hate like the 60 hertz, like the ground loop hum.
Yeah.
That stuff is so annoying.
Yeah, that's annoying.
I guess that's what it is, huh?
Before I installed a dedicated 20 amp into my theater room, I had just about every subwoofer I ever hooked up had that hum, and I'm like, I just got used to it. I'm like, this sucks, but
I told you guys I like bass, so there you go. The hum has to have bass.
Yeah, the hum has bass. Yeah, there's a 60 hertz hum, or it's like, what is it, like 60 hertz or 61 hertz or something? It's like right next. I don't know. Anyway, there's that, but then there's like noise floor that's above 10K. Where it's just and that. So they're two different things, and they're both super annoying. With my old house, the only way I could get rid of the noise or the hum that came from my projector, ironically, it's plugged in all the same outlets, everything, dedicated 20 amp circuit, all that stuff didn't matter. I used it's EbTech, I think is the name of the brand, and it's called the Hum X, all like one word. So if you're looking for it on Amazon, I think it's $80, and it's just a ground loop isolator. It looks like a
we got it up on the screen right here.
Yeah, you plug it into an outlet, and then you plug whatever peripheral you have into that.
Yeah, the hum
X. And that's the only thing that will resolve the noise that I was having, that 60 hertz hum in my old home theater. That's the only way I could get rid of it. I couldn't do. I tried everything else under the sun, like Jensen transformers that are $120 a piece. Just like I tried everything. Couldn't ground loop isolators and the RCA's, the XLR, made my own cables. Nothing worked. That was the only thing that worked.
Right.
You want to hear something really weird that's related to this? Is I had a hum that was happening. What was the cause of it?
It was the dock.
The dock. Yeah, I have this USB or Thunderbolt dock connected to all this stuff. It's connecting everything, right? And one of my mics was picking up all kinds of like weird hum. And so I thought about, that Hum X that you recommended prior, Aaron, and I was like, I don't know if I want to spend all that, right?
Yeah.
It's because it's not, it's not expensive, but it's just, I don't know. Anyway, something weird. I happened to just plug that thing, that dock into one of those smart plugs. So random.
Mm-hmm.
And it made it go away. Does that make any sense?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's,
it
does have 3 prongs, so I assume it's not like, just lifting the ground.
Yeah, I mean, some
I'm like,
gear is
what is happening?
Yeah, some gear is better isolated than other, but when it comes to that stuff, man, I'm a tourist. I don't really know.
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah,
I mean,
smart plug like $10, so it's like a cheap little thing. So if anybody has any of those, you may want to try that to see if it resolves it. Because I didn't want to do the thing that just connects the 3-prong and it converts it to 2.
Yeah, the cheater plug.
Safe. Yeah, the cheater plug, exactly. I didn't want to do that.
Yeah.
So I use a smart plug on this one particular device, and it fixed everything. So weird.
Yeah.
Anyway,
dude, we were having so many power problems at my gig because of this. They bought this new $60,000 sound system, running dual 18 subs, 2 of those, and then dual 12s, running 2 of those. Sometimes when the bass hit, boom, everything just off.
It just shuts it off.
Just off. I was just like, and then what do you call it? My decks have a 15-second battery backup.
Mm-hmm.
So the music still plays. The mixer's off, the speakers are off, but the power, and I would like unplug a subwoofer and then like boom, it just comes back on and the song is still playing.
Right.
Otherwise if I had like the Pioneer, the industry standard stuff, I'd have to reboot, find the song again, and that'll take like 30 seconds, which is like an eternity when you have like hundreds of people jumping up and down like partying.
They're ready to dance.
Yeah, exactly. So the power things are definitely an issue. But I was just like, oh, can we run some generators for the subwoofers or something? just so we can get through the party.
Just isolate them.
Get it on their own circuit. That's really definitely a thing. Everyday J says, China, I think those are called binaural beats. No. This is actually a thing. Here, I looked it up. Okay, it's 432 hertz versus 440 hertz tuning, right? And so, see, it moves the tuning to A as opposed to C or middle C. Some people believe that the music instruments tuned to 432 is warmer and easier on the ears. Others find it have a brightness that brings mental clarity. Can be found in meditation and relaxation music. So there is a whole thing on like how they tune the music. Cool.
Yeah. I don't know. I've tried some of that stuff. Those binaural sounds.
Yeah.
It annoys me.
It annoys you. Yeah.
I don't like any of that.
Here's another question. Panasonic UB9000 or Revon. The main difference is that the Revon will be able to play SACDs and DVD audio discs, not to be confused with standard DVDs. DVD audio.
Chana, does the Revon, does it have like a does it pull metadata from each movie, like if you've got ripped content?
It's actually pretty decent.
I mean,
with ripped content. If you hit info, it'll tell you like all the stats of the file.
But I mean, it doesn't like pull like the
no. Okay. So Revon is being distributed by the same people, by Zapedi, right?
Okay.
So Zapedi, kind of helped them develop the Revon players, and so they didn't want to cannibalize sales for their media players.
Okay.
The
so
Revon's
this is more like an Oppo replacement, maybe.
Yes, it does have. It will play the files.
Right.
It'll play M2TS files. It won't play ISO or BDMV folders.
Okay.
The Oppo was able to play BDMV folders, which was a nice thing.
Sure.
So, if you want a a file playback system, then go with a Zapedi or a whatever
Zadoo.
Plex or
Yeah. Okay.
Zadoo.
Zadoo.
Zahoo? Zadoo.
Y'all are
Sorry.
making stuff up now.
No, seriously.
No, that's what it's called,
I
man.
don't believe it for a minute.
Whatever, dude. I've got a Zadoo, and Chana
Zoo
reviewed
doo
it.
doo doos.
Yeah, they sent me a new
I
one. Too.
actually really liked it. It was really
Yeah.
slick.
It's nice. I think the
still gotta
PD
get
interface
the-
a little bit better, but whatever.
Yeah, I still got to get to the PD reference.
Bruce Anderson has a question for Aaron. Hey, Aaron, can I connect a 4 ohm load nominal speaker, which has a minimum impedance of 2.6 ohms, to a tone winner 2-channel amplifier? Will the amp suffer in playback at closer to reference volumes?
Oh, I don't know anything about the tone winner. I mean, if it's 4 ohm capable, then you probably should be able to.
So
But
the
it's
dipping down to
nowadays, right?
2.6 ohms is not a big deal.
Yeah, I mean, and it also depends apparently like on what the phase angle is as well to the load, or on the load, I should say. But yeah, generally speaking, man, I don't think I've come across any 4 ohm capable amplifiers that have had an issue running speakers that dip down. I would say you're probably okay. But that's one good thing about Tone Winner. I'm assuming they probably have a pretty good return policy. Can't hurt to try it, or just email the manufacturer and ask them before you buy it. That's what I would do.
Yeah,
sure.
That's probably your best bet.
Let them know what speakers you've got and see if they think
I would be curious to know how many people have run into cases where they're using, specific amplifier and a specific speaker and it wouldn't work. Like how many times do people run into that outside of an AVR?
Yeah.
Because I'm willing to bet it's like really, really small unless the speaker is just not well made or not well designed.
So my friend Ryan, who lives in Kansas City, he has I don't know the model number, but they're Martin Logan's, the Electrostats.
I was going to say.
He had some of the, I want to say it's Crown amplifiers. It's either Crown or QSC. I think it's Crown. And he kept tripping them like continually. And so he had to upgrade his front LCR to be able to handle those to a much bigger, like a lot more expensive Crown. So he's got
something happen at your M-Wave event with the giant electrostats. It's always those things. They're the ones.
Well, I mean,
kind of.
There was one amplifier that kind of went up.
I guess you don't have to say the names, but
yeah, it went up in smokes.
Yeah.
And the crazy thing is, it was one of the higher end amplifiers. It wasn't the cheap one. The OSD handled it just fine. It was crazy.
Yeah. So I haven't had any issues with like hard to drive speakers. Some of the lower impedance ones.
Yeah.
I haven't had any issues with more current amplifiers. But I did have an issue with my old school Marantz.
Yeah.
It was a 2220B, so it was like, they claimed 20 watts channels, like, old school, like one of those old school AVRs. And when I plug in a 4 ohm speaker, it just would like the sound would dip, like it didn't like it at all.
So Junior said those Martin Logans go down to 0.5 ohms. No wonder they trip.
Yeah, you need a cheater amp for those.
My clips, they'll go down to, I think, around 2.4, I believe is what I remember, like during real heavy bass notes or low frequencies. But I've always had like a 3-channel Accurus amp, so 200 by 3. Never, I mean, I've cranked it. Never once had that thing clip or, shut down or trip or anything.
Is it true though that the Class D stuff is kind of likes the lower impedance? I don't know. I don't know so much about amplifiers, but
I don't know that I've heard that.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
It shouldn't have an issue driving them though. Like modern Class D amplifiers shouldn't have an issue driving those.
Yeah.
They're just generally more efficient too, so that helps.
Yeah.
Along the same lines of this conversation, I'm getting in a Macintosh MC462 to play around with. So
look at you.
I know it, dude. Well, the opportunity
making your dreams come true.
Yeah, man. The opportunity came up, and I was like, I don't know how I'm going to objectively review an amplifier, but I'm going to try because I couldn't turn down the opportunity. They were like, "Well, we'll send it out to you for 2 months, and then do whatever you can with it." And I was like, "Okay."
Ask him if you can try to blow it up.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking.
It could be
it to like a 0.5 ohm load or something.
Push it to the limits and.
Yeah.
It could be your first non-objective review. How about that?
Yeah, there you go.
I'm not going to measure anything.
I don't care.
Tell you what I think about it.
How it measures. It's just blue lights.
Aaron's like, man, this
I
thing's
don't-
heavy.
I just don't care.
Yeah.
I
hey,
love it.
Aaron,
It
Aaron.
looks good.
come out
Yes.
to my gig, dude. We'll power the big speakers off of that thing. We'll
There
get
you
it
go.
to trip.
Perfect.
We'll
That
get it to
sounds
blow.
perfectly reasonable. I'll just fly out there with that 100-pound thing. I'll check it. I won't check it actually. I'll put it as carry on. I'll
Carry
put it in
on.
my backpack. Yeah, I'll put it in my backpack. Stowed over.
That's funny.
You know, my deadlifts have gone up a lot, so that shouldn't be a problem at all.
Yeah.
yeah.
Aaron's gonna be like on his review. He's gonna be like, just the texture of the distortion. Just it has
The,
this
the
texture
noise
to it.
floor
The
was
noise floor-
angelic.
Yeah, the noise floor sounded really good. It's the best noise floor I've ever heard in my life.
Oh,
Hey,
man.
Hey, with that,
says-
I've got to split, but it was good
All right,
chatting with
buddy.
you guys. All right, man.
All right,
Y'all have a
All
good
right,
one.
take care,
Aaron.
have a good
Peace
night,
out,
buddy.
everybody.
Later, man.
Yeah.
Don't rip your pants.
I'll try not to. Later.
Aaron.
Reginald says the Mac loves low impedance. I'm like, oh, okay,
All right.
that's good to know.
Oh man, too bad he had to go because I did have a question that was pretty technical, but let's see. Have you guys heard of well, I guess I'll get to it in a second. So Sean and I have kind of been on this. What does that sound? On this kick with the concentric stuff.
Mhm.
So one of my favorite brands is Cali Audio, and they just released this little thing.
Oh, what's that?
It's a ultra near field studio monitor setup, and it's using the 4.5-inch concentric from their IN5.
Oh, the iron lines.
Yeah. And so they just put in these little orbs, right? Yeah,
Is that
I
like
mean
a
we've
bass
seen this
module
type of,
behind it?
and they call it a base. I think like a base module.
Yeah.
Base model.
Somebody
What
said-
do you put that on the back of your chair or something?
No, it's supposed to sit on your desk.
Mm.
It's supposed to sit on your desk. Okay.
Yeah, the woofers here are still like, I don't know, like 4.5-inch woofers. So
Gotcha.
they're
Are
really
they passive or are they
they're not
self-powered?
sub,
Or
so-
is the amplifier inside the sub?
Yeah, so this is the amplifier, all the
Class
stuff
D
is
power.
here, and it goes down to 39 hertz, so that's not sub territory at all.
Mhm.
But it was just interesting, this whole setup where I guess you're supposed to be able to put your monitor on this thing. I don't know, but concentric. I'm all about concentric. The interesting thing about this is these are crossed over. Let's see where it shows here. Does it show the exact frequency? Yeah, it does. So crossover from that concentric orb looking thing is
Mhm.
280 hertz.
Oh, that's
Right?
pretty low.
Well, we usually say 80 hertz is what we recommend for a crossover.
But the mid range. All right, so
Yeah,
mid range is 28.
from that
Okay, never mind.
to
I was
the woofers. Like,
thinking something else.
so I talked to Charles Sprinkle. He's one of my favorite speaker designers,
Mhm.
and he's the designer here at Cali Audio. And I said, why'd you do 280? Like I have these monolith ones that go down to 80. It's not like they're not huge. Why'd you choose 280? And he was just talking about intermodulation distortion, IMD, where basically if you think about the high frequencies and the woofer is acting as the waveguide, as the woofer is moving back and forth, that means your waveguide is moving back and forth. And if there's a high frequency coming out, it could modulate that frequency.
Right.
And he said he didn't want any of that. I don't want to hear any of that. And so I did a test. There's some IMD tests that you can do where you play two test tones where the tone is not relative to the other one in any mathematical way, I guess you can say. And you just test to see if you can hear that modulation. And I tested it with these monolith ones,
Mhm.
and I wasn't able to hear anything. I tried different test tones, and I think it has to do with how much the cone moves, right? So if the cone moves a lot, then that's going to be worse. But the cone on these monolith ones are actually, it's weird because there's a surround that goes like this, a surround, and then one that goes under, right? So it's not like a double surround. It's one that goes under and one that goes over. So I don't know if that has anything to do with it to prevent the diffraction, but also the cone is pretty shallow.
Mhm.
And when you run bass through it, it doesn't move very much. So anyway,
Mhm.
for anybody concerned with IMD, I haven't heard it on these. And anyway, I was just gonna ask Aaron about that. Do you guys have any input?
I don't know.
when it comes to
IMDb.
IMDb. Okay.
That's what I know.
Yeah, exactly.
Not
So anyway,
helpful.
let me get this off the screen. I
Okay.
just thought that was kind of a
That was pretty cool. I wonder
interesting
if the
thing.
tweeters are like are the drivers aimable, like up and down, or is it just kind of fixed?
Well, it looks on like the little stand.
That'd be kind of cool
Yeah,
if
if
you could
you could
aim
just like
them better.
angle it. Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, you can.
Closer or
They said
further away
price
from
point
you.
is $5.99 on these.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, it looks slick.
For that setup.
and
Yeah.
and the cool thing, I guess, is if you plan on doing some, studio monitoring on the go, kind of, or if you have a small setup and you don't want to bother people, you don't even need an interface.
Mhm.
Most of the time, you need an audio interface so you can plug in XLR. This you can just plug in with USB
Oh,
to your computer.
yeah, that's handy.
You're
Oh,
good
that's
to go.
definitely handy.
So
Yeah.
anyway, that was interesting. Any more questions that we have?
Oh man,
Mhm.
that's a
Yeah,
great
let's
question
just-
right there from Sigmund. How long?
Yeah, what do we got here?
How long in your home theater journey before you started thinking about room treatment? Focus my budget on structural build, AV seating, have basic timber frame installation for now. I know for my journey, I waited way too late. Like it was like that was the last one day I was sitting there, and it'd been probably several years, and I don't know if
But
somebody.
doesn't it like depend on what your space is like? Like if you
I'm
have
saying
like hardwood floors all over the place,
Right,
wouldn't
yeah.
you like do that right away?
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I mean, again, I'm in a theater room. I have carpet, but I have one, two, three. I have four surfaces that are just solid hard.
Mm.
Left wall, right wall, rear wall, and the ceiling.
Mm.
And so one day somebody had mentioned, maybe like in a forum or something, they were talking about the clap test. I'm like, oh, let me just see. And I went into my room and I clapped loud one time. And dude, I heard boy, oi, 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 oi.
You heard angels.
I was like,
It's
whoa. And
singing
in my
at you.
brain, I'm thinking, that can't be good. I'm like, holy cow. And the more I started researching it, it was like, okay, if your brain is hearing direct sound, and then even a fraction of a second, it's hearing reflected sound, your brain really just gets confused. It's like, what did I just hear? It just sounds convoluted. It sounds non-intelligible. And that's what I was experiencing. And so my neighbor, I don't even know how I came about it, but he was new to our community. And we were talking audio one day, and he's like, yeah, man, I got a little kind of a setup in my living room. I said, dude, I'd love to check it out. I love home theater. I brought him into mine. And so we went over there, and he had acoustic panels all in his living room. I'm like, oh, this is cool. So we walk out of his garage, and I see those same panels. There's probably like 10 or 15 of them. And I'm like, hey, dude, what do you plans to do with that? And he's like, oh, those are just extra ones. I'm like, you want to sell them? He's like, I don't know. I never thought about it. I said, well, text me tonight. If you want to sell them, let me know what you want for them. So he texted me back later on that day. He's like, how about $11 a piece? I'm like, how about I come get them tonight? So I did. I went, got them.
$11 a piece.
Yeah. So I bought like 10 of them from him, and just placed them around my room, did the first reflection point. And I'll be honest, man, it was a great improvement in intelligibility, dialogue clarity. So I wish, looking back, man, I would start there.
Oh, interesting.
Do your room, get it just, get the room sounding good, and then add speakers, because I think a lot of times in this journey, sometimes we upgrade thinking, oh, that's what I need. And the reality is you've never fixed your room to begin with.
Mhm.
So if you've got horrible acoustics and you buy a new amplifier or a processor, or
you're amplifying the horrible
Yeah.
acoustics, right?
yeah, you're not fixing the problem, and you think, oh, I now need a Trinnov to fix this. Well, no, if you tame some of those crazy
Look at that. Look at
reflections in
that.
your room,
You get a youth man deal, $100 or Trinnov.
yeah, it
price
was
of a
awesome,
car.
dude. It was awesome.
I think
Same result.
I think if everybody could get an $11 sound panel, I think more people would have
Oh, yeah.
100%.
sound panels up.
So
I
here's
like
the
how
good-
he thought about it. It's not 10. He went
Yeah.
11.
yeah, it was
He thought about
a
it.
weird number, but I'm like, hey, that works for me. But the reality is, the good thing is, even if you're not handy, like I'm not super handy with wood and building and constructing, but I've got friends that could help me do that. And we could go over on a weekend and we could work together and build some acoustic panels, and you can make them super inexpensive, so it's, if you buy them from like GIK or some of these other brands, ATS Acoustics, you're going to spend like $100 per panel. But the reality is you can build those for probably 2/3 less if you were to build them yourself. So, but definitely, man, I'm all for adding treatment to your room. And again, just a simple test. Go into the middle of your room where you normally sit and just have everything quiet in your room and just clap one time pretty loud and just listen. If you hear it hit the walls and echo back and then kind of immediately decay pretty quickly, all right, that's pretty good. If you hear it like I did, it's like boing, yoing, 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 that's terrible, man. Fix that first. So that's my advice. But yeah, I waited too long to answer your question.
Yeah, very interesting. Yeah, I want the $11 panels.
Hey,
You know,
there
you
you
know
go.
it's interesting because when I do these calibrations for people,
Mhm.
I'm not the one who's in charge of setting up the speakers.
Yeah.
Right? I go in there and I kind of just assume that this is
They've
how
done it right. Yeah.
this is how they've done it, and this is how, it's not my
Sure.
job really. But I always tell them that priority is on placement. So the speaker placement within the room and, the relative placement of the speakers to them,
Yeah.
their main listening position. But it's a physical thing where if they have reflections, I can't fix those.
Right.
Yeah.
No, you can't.
I can only do so much with their room and their speakers. And so you're exactly right. If you can fix the physical stuff first,
Yep.
then I can go in and make the best possible use of the
Absolutely.
sound. But if it's reflective, there's nothing I can do.
So what you're
no,
saying is
no digital
magic,
anything can do
even
that.
magic beans in an
Even
untreated
magic-
room is
It's
gonna
not as
be.
magical.
It's not as magical. They're just beans at that point.
They're just
That's hilarious.
exactly.
Uh,
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
true though. It's true.
Yeah.
Those higher frequencies, you should absorb them, right?
Yeah.
Like even in this room right here, I have the mic right here, and it can pick up. It's a small room. It can pick up the sound. And when I first moved in here, I don't know if you guys remember, but it was echoey in here,
Yeah.
super echoey.
Yep.
And so right now, this whole wall has 4 inches,
Sure.
4-inch panel or foam, acoustic foam, along the whole entire wall to prevent the echo
Getting that bouncing back,
hits
right?
that wall and comes back, and it made a big difference.
Somebody's asking how you like the panels on your wall behind you. Those are just decorative, right?
These are decorative. I don't know what they do. I don't know that they're
not-
deep enough to actually like.
I don't think so.
just-
They're not even foam, right?
They
They're
may
just
kind of
plastic.
scatter it, maybe.
maybe
diffuse a little
because
bit.
they're not flat.
Yeah.
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 Well,
See,
back
Stock
there.
Phone said, I remember Joe until Echo drove me crazy. Yeah, drove me crazy too. Yeah, there's just too much. But yeah, for sure. Just treat your room if you can, if it's possible. They make some nice looking stuff now. Just not cheap, but I guess you can do a DIY thing if you're handy.
Yep.
Mhm.
And the good thing too, if you wanted to spend a little bit more money, you can always create the panels where you have the fabric painted or not painted, but like artwork. So you can download.
Oh
it
yeah,
with
yeah.
your
Well, I've seen
posters
that. We
and
saw that
things.
at some show.
Yeah, so you can get decorative like that, or you can put your kids in there, photos of your family or scenic or whatever you want to do.
You know what they need to do? They need to start just selling just the frame for the acoustic panels, because the frame is the hard part, right? Like if you want to do a DIY, like I don't have the stuff to make the
Cut
frame. I don't
wood.
want to go and get a bunch of stuff cut and have the right angle on there. If they could just set like I don't care if it's plastic, right?
Yeah.
Something lightweight where I could just buy a 4-inch thick
like
frame.
IKEA style. Like just
IKEA
get me in there, like boom, different
I'm-
color, like
Yeah.
paper, whatever, and then all you just got to do is get the the rock.
They need a
rock
flat
with it.
pack.
Yeah.
That's
A
what they
flat
need.
pack. That's what they
Flat
need.
pack.
Somebody sell that. Can you call up your guys at GIK and
Yeah, let's make it happen.
Yeah.
hey, let's do it.
GIK DIY.
That's right.
Or
Boom.
somebody else. If somebody else wants to do it,
Boom.
let's do it.
Yeah.
We're
So
movers
there's
and shakers here. We make it happen.
The bad guys 56 says, "Hello, gentlemen. I just purchased a Strake Sound Fiera 8 on Black Friday. Do you recommend this amplifier?" All right, so I looked it up here.
Stark sound.
Oh, is it Stark?
Yeah,
I guess I am a little dyslexic. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right, look, save $540. Boom.
Mm.
8-channel amplifier. And
You
this
know what?
looks
I know there was a
pretty
little bit
impressive.
of drama about this whole thing. Not this.
Oh, yeah?
I don't know if it was this particular amp.
Oh, really?
drama. How
Specifically?
does the amplifier have drama, dude?
I know it was some drama about like how it didn't measure well, or like it didn't have the amplifier power. I don't know if it was this particular amp.
You're right.
You know,
But the brand.
a bunch of reviewers were saying, "Oh, it sounded this this company's amp was sounding all super good, and then they measured it on Audio Science Review, and they found out like, oh, it wasn't putting out anything close to that amount of power.
Yeah.
It was like this whole thing.
But
I
if
don't
you
know.
think, even if you think about that, if somebody says, "Oh, this sounds great," but it's not measuring the amount of power or wattage that it claims, it still
hear ya.
doesn't invalidate, what they experience, I guess.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So 130 watts RMS at 8 ohms, but only 4-channel output.
Yeah.
Kinda
I
weird.
mean, like I'm saying, I had that old Marantz,
Mhm.
20 watts per channel, and I love the way that thing sounded.
Yeah.
You think you could
Yeah.
get away with selling a 20 watt per channel amp nowadays? Like, people would laugh.
With I'd like a
Yeah.
like a good price, like a hefty price.
Yeah, with a hefty price. I
Mhm.
mean, even these little Class D amps on
Dude,
Amazon,
I
they
tell you,
lie about their spec because they know people aren't going to buy a 20 watt per channel little tiny amp.
Yeah. You know what I would say if you were going to do that, you would have to say tube-ish or tube-like, and then cool, 20
There it
watts,
is.
whatever. Oh, wait, is it Class A, like Class AY?
Yeah, Class AY.
Class
Hey.
AY. 20 watts, $2,000.
So these guys are saying that they removed it from their site. Anyway, yeah, there was some drama about that. So I don't know. I've never reviewed their stuff. I try to stay away from companies that have too much.
I mean, honestly, an amplifier seems to be like an amplifier,
Mhm.
right? I mean, okay, there's going to be expensive ones and there's going to be cheap ones, but for the most part, are you going to hear a difference between the 600 and the 6,000? I don't know. What do you say, Joe? You have
dude,
the $600.
I don't even want to show the brand on this little amp. They sent me this a long time ago. This little amp, and it's right here in the trash. Bye bye.
That's
See
funny.
ya.
Not bad. It's just, to me, there could be a bad, like, it's just so much hiss. Unbelievable amount of hiss on this thing.
That's not good.
Unbelievable amount.
Especially on near field, man, because you don't want to hear that all day. If your amplifier's got a little bit of hiss and you sit 12 feet, you're probably not going to hear it. Maybe if it's like dead silent in the room, if you got really, really sensitive ears and you can hear that, but the vast majority of people are not going to hear it, especially if you're watching a movie or watching or listening to any kind of music, you're probably not going to hear it.
All right, here.
No, I guess that's when let's all just take some time to listen to some noise floor. Beautiful, elegant.
So,
can the noise floor put you to sleep
I don't
and
know
help
how to
you
say
relax?
this name anymore. I know who this is, but I can't say the name. Whatever it is. So
Aima?
he's saying Aima and Fosse. So these are Chinese brands. Aima, they have one called the A07 that everybody seems to love because it was reviewed on Audio Science Review and it measured surprisingly well for a $79, $80 amplifier. So I went and bought one. Unfortunately,
that's not the one.
The power switch it only works like half of the time. So I'm sure it sounds great, but it would be great if it could turn on like 100% of the time.
When it works.
You know what I mean?
It's like
99.999 would be okay, but like 30% of the time it doesn't turn on, so that's no good. But yeah, my experience with amplifiers is just noise floor related. Like, I have this OSD one, right? And it has a noise. You know what I mean? It has like a high pitch. I'm like, dude, what's up with that? You gotta fix that. So it's more stuff like that.
Right.
But if you have an amplifier that's pretty quiet, for the most part, there's nothing audible that I've heard like, oh, this one sounds so different as far as what it's amplifying or how it's amplifying. It's more like, what does it do when it's quiet? Look at this.
Yeah, if you hear something moving around, that's not good.
That's what is that? That's not noise floor. That's box noise. This is the noise. You shake it. There's noise.
Yeah, and Reggie's saying there should be no audible hiss from the amplifier. Yeah, well, how much is this Parasound? 3,000 something? $3,000. This has some audible hiss. So there you go, Reggie. I got a pretty nice amplifier.
I would imagine the sensitivity of your speakers would play a role in how much you'd be able to hear from that, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
I guess what is it, lower?
I would think if you had really sensitive speakers,
you should probably hear more of it.
Hear it, easier.
That sounds about right. It just kind of like amplifies the hiss, but it'll also amplify the rest of the sound more too. Everything
Yeah.
gets amplified more.
Well, Bad Guy 56, let us know how it goes. See what happens when it gets there.
Heard.
You know what was the real quiet? Because somebody here is mentioning Hypex or Purify. I think the NAD T778 is using a Hypex module, and I had that set up here, and that thing was really quiet, really, really nice and quiet. The Denon, I've had a Denon 4700H. That was pretty quiet, not as quiet as the NAD, but that's kind of the way I judge amplifiers. Is it quiet when it's not supposed to be playing anything?
Yeah.
What else? Any other questions?
Speaking of Denon, Martin says he kind of regrets going to separates. Couldn't tell the difference between his X3700 on its own, 3700 plus all external amps, or AV8805 and amps. Maybe because my speakers never use more than 32 watts each. I don't know.
Huh.
Again, that's that thing. Would it make a difference? Would it sound different? 3700 in preamp mode, pre-pro with, obviously amplifiers.
Sure.
I don't know. I mean, they're both using multi 32 multi Q30. I can't even remember. Whatever the XT32 is. That's all I'll just say.
Multi EQ XT32, I think, is the whole
thing. Okay.
Yeah.
Artisanal hiss. Yeah, dude, it's fancy. Some fancy stuff, Matt.
Oh, man. Tim's gonna have a fun time with this.
Yeah. Here's another random one. Billy P asks, is it adding a 20 amp outlet expensive? I guess that all depends.
My buddy ran mine, so
$11 probably.
It's just whatever.
$11.
We ran I guess 20 gauge wire, or no, I don't know what it is. I don't know what the gauge is. 12 gauge, 4 gauge. No, it was like 4 gauge.
What was the process of that though? So what did you do?
Like literally, you climb in the attic, you run the wire, kind of like you do speaker wire. You actually take the panel off on the breaker box and you connect it wherever it's supposed to go. I didn't touch it, man. That is not.
Yeah, I personally wouldn't do any of that shit.
Dude,
like even when Brandon was up here,
there are a lot of guys that do, man.
Yeah.
Like these guys that work with electricity, they'll do it with the power on. I'm like, you're insane, man.
Who does that?
I killed my neighbor's power just to make sure, kind of thing,
Dude, when Brandon was putting a new power outlet, mounting the TV, he didn't turn it off.
They don't kill the break. Like a lot of these guys don't. I'm like, y'all are crazy, but they understand electricity. Yeah. They know, okay, as long as I don't touch this and this, I won't die. I mean,
there it is. Simple.
I'm dead.
This don't touch those together.
I was swapping out a breaker, and I had a breaker that actually went bad. And so my buddy, he's in Alabama, so he's like 600 miles away. And I'm like, so I'll FaceTime him. I'm like, all right, bro, is this something that I can handle? He's like, oh yeah, absolutely. So he had me pull off the panel, and he said, now before you do anything, I want you to look right here. You see this right here? Don't touch that. He said, you'll die immediately. I went, okay, thanks, man.
Oh,
yeah.
All right. Thanks for letting me know.
Yeah, so I wouldn't recommend that. There he goes. True Voice of Reason says 1 wire at a time is fine. It's when you touch multiple. That's like when a bird lands on a power line. They're totally cool.
They're fine
because they're not grounded. As soon as you ground it, man, that joker's a turkey and you're ready to eat him.
Or if they accidentally hit 2 lines, but they're usually far apart. Their little legs can't do it.
So how many times have you ever shocked yourself on the 120 wall outlet?
I've never done it.
I think I've done it.
I didn't even do that stupid shit as a kid.
Of some sort.
Yeah, no,
I did that probably twice as a kid. I did stick my finger in the light. Sorry, that probably explains a lot about me. And then probably one time I was changing an element in the oven.
Man.
So that's 220. And I had pulled it out, and I swapped one of them actually broke, and so it was arcing big time. And so I talked to somebody, and they said, if you have a broiler, which is the top part, and you don't use the broiler, just pull the broiler one out and put it down where the bake goes, which is on the bottom. Oh, okay, cool. So I did that. And somehow in that process, I left it power on. And man, I went to grab it. That thing lit my butt up.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, I'm serious, man. That'll increase your prayer life. Cause I'm like, look, I could have died like instantly. So yeah, man, power, man. I don't play
You
with
don't
that.
mess around,
Yeah.
So
mess around.
it's interesting. They have like shock therapy for people who are like,
Yeah,
Mhm.
electroshock
and-
therapy.
yeah, hey, after you get shocked with that, all your stress just goes away immediately. Like, woo,
Yeah, and then it's just all pain.
I'm just
All
glad
pain.
I'm alive.
No
Hey,
stress, all
hey,
pain.
I
Oh,
feel
what is
great.
that?
So I don't use these, Jessica. Like I get like pretty significant pains like in my neck because I got like a pinched nerve. And so Jessica thought, oh, he sits at the computer all the time. So she bought me this a while back. I hate it. It's like these little like
Oh, it shocks
electro.
you?
Oh man, yeah, it's metal. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's like
Later,
those little
Sim. Take care,
pads that
buddy.
you used to put on. You
Yeah.
guys have seen those pads that you like
Yeah, you
Yeah.
you
feel
put
like
on and you can turn it
you
up?
feel the intensity is like electric vibes
Oh
going on.
yeah.
It's
On your
Electric
feet.
man.
vibes.
a little freaky.
Mhm.
Yeah. When we were younger, we used to have, I don't know who had one of those things where you put the patches on,
Yeah.
and it would be a game. We'd turn it up and see who could who could
can
keep it
last
on
the
the
longest.
longest. You know what I mean? And I
That's
remember one of my friend's dads, we put it on his arm. He just handled it. He's just like,
Mhm.
I'm like, oh
That's
man,
wild.
all right, don't mess with this guy.
Oh, speaking of that, I went to a chiropractor one time and they did something similar to that. I thought they were going to like do the snap, crackle, pop. No, this lady hooks me up to like 10 of these on my back. And I sit there for like 30 minutes and you just feel it. Zzz, zzz, and then it just kind of goes all up and down your back. Oh, man, I never went back there again. Dude, I am not doing that.
Like that. You wanted the massage that you got in the Philippines, huh?
Oh my
prefer that?
God. Heck yeah, dude. That
You
was
don't like
crazy. That was crazy.
That's a lazy way, right? Like, you know what? I'll make your muscles flex with this electricity.
Yeah. It was
Get
weird.
in there. Get in there with your thumbs.
That's right, man. Get them elbows in there, man. Oh.
How much was that that massage that you got in the Philippines?
It's probably about, I don't know, 16, 18 bucks for an hour and a half.
Hour and a
Damn,
half.
dude.
Crazy.
Damn. Did
I know,
you?
Joe told me.
I bet if you tipped him like $20, you would have gotten a happy ending too, right?
I don't want that, bro. I can get that every night. So,
Now you know why he's smiling all the time. Look at this guy.
That's right.
Oh yeah,
Those
baby.
youth man deals.
That's
Got
awesome.
the best deal at home.
That's free, man. Well, it does cost.
Snap.
It does cost.
Oh, love it. Yeah, that's why we do this. That's why we do these Monday things. It's just that. When
Gotta
you
have
hear
some
that,
fun, man.
it makes it all worth it.
Uh,
That's all I need to hear. That made my whole day.
That's funny.
That's awesome, man.
you guys are hilarious.
Oh, speaking of which, I wanted to show you guys this. Have you seen this guy before? Have you seen Electro Boom? He has 5.32 million subscribers. This guy,
What does he do? Does he just electrocute himself?
he voluntarily like does crazy stuff where like,
Oh, funny.
look at them, look at him. Everybody watches for that. He does it on purpose. Look at this guy. Look at this guy.
And he does it probably right at the very beginning of
Oh,
the video.
that's great.
Oh man.
Electro.
But he knows exactly like what's too much. Look at this guy. Electro Boom.
Yeah.
He's just hilarious. Anyway,
Most shocking moments.
you want to
Great.
grow your channel? Boom, do this. No,
That's
thank you.
Crazy.
Not me.
I've always said if we wanted to make like viral content in home theater 2 channel, you really just got to catch something on fire or blow it up.
Yeah.
You know?
That's how you do it.
Yeah.
There's a couple that Joe had ideas for me to do. He's like using a PA system as my home theater.
There
You
you go.
know,
Just ridiculous stuff sometimes, right?
stupid shit.
Yeah, it's got to be kind of out there to really to expand beyond our niche, you know.
I mean, I was playing on like a 30,000 watt sound system, like in the summertime at some venues, and Joe's like, "Dude, just make a video like that." But there was not enough time to like have everything set up, and then people are showing up to the event, and then you're like, "How am I going to videotape this thing?" And talking about talking with the dude, and then there's music playing in the background, so you're going to hit with copyright. It's just a like
Yeah.
big old mess. It has
Any other questions we got here?
I think there's not that many questions. Everybody's just kind of chiming in. Some people did chime in about where'd it go? Oh, the 20 amp lines require different wiring, right? It's 12 gauge as opposed to 14 gauge for the 15 amp wiring. So if you wanted to add, and somebody said $600 for 20 feet, is what it costs in New York to add a 20 ampere line. But if you have to change your box or any kind of wiring in your box, then that's going to drive the cost up.
Yeah. If you're just adding us like another leg to it, I guess that's when
I mean, that's really so. Like the Canyon Lodge where I was playing over the weekend, they did a remodel and they have all this cool stuff. But the people that did the remodel and did the power outlets out there didn't anticipate this much of a power draw from them. So I don't know if it's a 20 amp line or a 15 amp line, but I need to do something about it.
Yeah, we can take a call too before we go. Maybe we can take one call. I know it is Cyber Monday, so I actually need to make a video. So,
dude, I am not. Yeah. Oh wait, I gotta make a YouTube video, don't I?
You do have to make a video.
I mean, I have pretty much everything. I have the Atmos file ready to go.
Okay, all right.
So,
yeah, feel free to give us a call, and then that should be it for today. So if you have any particular question that you want to ask us, go ahead and call. Let's see. Yeah, I think we're set up to go. Yeah.
Here. I'll drop this in the chat.
Just stream something. What is Angela saying? Just stream something? Oh, just stream. Yeah, I could do a live. I guess I could do a live. I don't know.
Make it easier.
Yeah, that would be easier.
Here's what was going on. I just dropped a link. I don't think. Can you hear them?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, you got the prayer hands.
Let's just say thank you. But because Joe's always like, dude, you say you're a good DJ, but I don't know because I believe you, but so there he's like, you got to show people. So
I'm more impressed with going to the bathroom and leaving, putting an 8-minute, song, so you have the opportunity to go. You come back, everybody's still, what happened?
Yeah,
they don't know.
Yeah, I have to, man. Dude, I wasn't able to leave. For 4 hours. I wasn't able to go to the bathroom. I couldn't leave to get drinks. I couldn't get any food because they were just so busy. Like usually in the other spot, they're not as busy. So cocktail waitress comes by and drops off a Red Bull vodka, or asks me if I want some pizza or something like that. What's your poop song?
What's your poop song? I don't know what that
means. No. Oh, what song did I put on Led Zeppelin? Because it was 8 minutes. Stairway to Heaven. So that was the poop song on Saturday, Angela. Stairway to Heaven.
Yeah, 8 minutes.
8
I'm
minutes.
not rushing poop in 8 minutes, man. So.
No, I cannot. I had to just go, tinkle, but like it's all the way. The restroom's like all the way inside. It's a ski resort, so like everything's in one location.
Yeah.
I used to have a friend who's a DJ, and I guess like a lot of these things, like you can remotely log into them.
Oh, that's
cool.
So
some of the newer ones,
He said he just remotely logged into the thing, and he's on the toilet, doing the little mix right there.
Yeah.
Oh man.
No, you definitely can. You definitely. Oh, hey, you know what's interesting? One of my patrons just posted something. Because I gave him an M2TS True HD file to check, and he's like, "Here's what it looks like on my Trinov." Or here.
You got some nice patrons there.
Yeah. TD's M2TS Dolby True HD file on Trinov. Trinov with 2 V's or 2 N's? 2 N's.
Trinov is 1 V.
2 N's, 1 V.
All right, I dropped that into the chat. It looks like it'll come.
Okay, so
I haven't even looked at it, but he's like, it's only 45 seconds long.
All right, hey, we got a call.
It's just some cheek noise moving around, but it looks like it works perfectly.
Hello.
Caller.
Yes, we can hear you. Can you hear us?
I can't hear.
I can't
hear him. Okay, hold on a second.
Only Joe can hear.
Hold on a second. Only I can hear. What's going on here? Hold on.
I'm going to change my camera battery. Hang on.
Huh. You guys should be able to hear. Hello?
Still nothing.
No.
Nothing? Oh, man.
Oh, I hear a boo, boo, boo.
Oh, that was my phone.
Oh, that was your phone.
Somebody texted me.
I don't know what's going on because this is set up the way it's normally supposed to be.
I know who texts. Like, are you done with that show? It's happy ending time.
Hold on.
Wife's like, you done with that podcast yet, buddy?
Hold on a second.
Yeah, gots to go, fellas.
And,
after party is happening here.
Yeah, so can you hear me yet? Hello? Hello, whoever's calling in. Can you say something? Yeah, I can hear
got
you.
nothing.
Oh man.
Yeah, I got nothing, man.
I'm sorry about that. Sorry about that. I don't know. I have it set up the way I normally have it set up.
Oh, I don't know, Joe. You got too many wires in there, bro.
We need that one, Sean.
Boo.
Audio fail here.
All right, try one more time. Can you say something? Ah, boo. You know, hey, we'll get this set up for next time. Sorry about that. Okay, go ahead. Why don't you ask me the question? I'll relay it.
Oops. What happened? What are we doing?
He was gonna put it on there.
You can put your headphones onto the microphone.
It's probably gonna make a feedback loop.
We're just sitting in silence. This is crazy.
Well, while he's doing that, so I bought these today for Jessica. It's really for me. So these are smart plugs.
Oh, smart plugs
for it's like
for
the
the
first
home,
time.
right?
Yeah, but the cool thing, man, they were super simple to set up, and I hooked them up outside just to be able to turn on Christmas lights and off Christmas lights.
Yeah, because you don't have to rebuy Christmas lights, right? It's just
we'll just plug them in, and you set timers. So I've got it, like the outside lights come on every day at 4:30 and go off at midnight.
Actually, I just got some new hues. So see that over there.
Yep,
is a Hue LED strip, and then I had one of the things we want to do. So my wife wakes up at 5 a.m. and then goes to the gym. It's like 5:50 or whatever. It's dark as crap out here, right?
Sure.
So I have the outside front door light and the stairway light turn on at 5:45.
That's so cool, man.
Yeah, she leaves, and I have them turn off at 6:15 in the morning.
Yeah, after she's gone.
And then today, like I have them regular, and then I have them turn back on at 6 p.m. And then I go to work at 11 p.m. like tonight. So only for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I have them turn off after I leave.
Yeah.
Whereas if I'm home, I'll manually turn them off like while I'm in bed or whatever.
Yeah. So that's interesting. You said that. I need to go back into the app, but I don't think you can do multiple times. Oh, I know.
Plug. Per plug?
What do you think? Yeah, because it had like, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then it had the time. Actually, now that I think about it, I bet what I would do is I would just create a new one, almost like a new activity.
Yes, yeah.
So
that's how I have them. They're called automations in the Philips Hue thing. Yeah.
So I could add one for like Monday to Friday, and then add a different one for Saturday and Sunday.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, that's exactly what I did.
Okay,
right?
cool.
Because I did the ones for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then the others I just I just have them turn on at 6 p.m. because I'm up till like 2, and I'll turn them off at that point.
Yeah. So I'm just getting into like this stuff, but I'll be honest, man, the more I get into it, the more I love it. And
those are the ones actually that fix the issue that I was talking about.
Oh, really? Interesting. Yeah, they're super cool, man. Yep, the little Govies.
Yeah.
I have
a bunch of
those. What do you call it? The one thing I want to get is the thermostat, the Nest.
Yeah, I do too.
Because we're upstairs and and it's cold as shit in winter, right? Like we're gonna have a storm coming through. We're gonna get into like single digits again. Yeah. So like when she wakes up at 5:50, she can just boom boom, or I can put on a timer 5:30, turn on the heat to 65 in the whole house.
I'm surprised you don't have a Nest already. I'm surprised.
Nah.
You seem like
I don't have one.
Have some electrician come in and like install it. I
don't know. It's easy, dude.
Dude, I don't do that shit, dude.
No, it's first of all, it's low voltage stuff, right? So.
No, I just don't care. I don't have the time. I would pay for somebody to just come here and do it. That's all. And the doorbell. We do need a doorbell with a camera. We need two of those things. We need that, and we need the thermostat.
I'm all about that. I've had a Nest for a long time. When I had the shop. Oh yeah, I had the Nest. It tries to do a little too much. It's all about like
trying to be too smart.
Trying to be a little too smart. Where it's like, oh, I noticed you always turn it down at this time, so let me start doing that all the time. Like, not all. I want to be in control.
Maybe that's what I should have been buying for Cyber Monday: a Nest thermostat or camera.
If you get one, depending on on your house because you may have some rooms that are cold, some are hotter than others. You may want to get those little things that are like thermometers that you put in other rooms too.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
So it
Yeah, it's like a
talks to
sensor.
it. Yeah, it talks to it. And says,
Really?
I want it this temperature here, not where the nest is at.
Oh,
Here, I want it this temperature.
that's pretty cool.
So it's
Cool.
part of the Nest thing.
Yeah.
It's part of the
And-
Nest thing. Okay.
Yeah, you
And then
can buy
which
a-
doorbell should I get? The Ring or the Nest?
It depends.
camera.
I'd like to keep everything the same.
No,
So
it says Ring.
I have the Google one, the Nest, whatever doorbell. It works really well. Like I don't have any complaints about that thing. It works well. And yeah, if somebody steals it, they'll just replace it for you. You
I
know?
turned off my Nest smart control. It's super stupid.
Yeah,
Nest is overpriced. It thinks it's smarter than you. I
No,
have the Ring
they have
doorbell.
less expensive Nest ones too, though. An
Oh.
original one with a metal, that one's more expensive, and then they have a less expensive one that does the same thing, just doesn't look as cool.
Oh, here's
but
the
yeah.
caller. Here's the caller, Justin. Just
Yeah, sorry
called.
about that.
Had a question about subs. I'm currently in an apartment with a room that's 11 by 17 with an SBS PBK 2000 Pro, or sorry, PB 2000 Pro. I'm buying a house next year, and the next room should be similar in size.
Mhm.
So, what do you want to know? Do you want to buy more subs? I mean, fuck it, try it. Why not?
Do I need more? I don't know.
I mean, if we're saying like 11 by 17.
I mean, it's a good size room. I mean, my room's 13 by 19, so he's just barely
11
under
by
mine.
17. And if we're saying, let's say 8-foot ceilings, you're at 1,500 square feet.
Oh.
Let's see. 11 by 17. Let's say it's 9.
He says, I was thinking of going duals at the next place, was wondering if I should do another PB2K or
Oh.
PB3000. Should he step up to another one?
Like the higher level.
Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't mind getting two of the same
Yeah.
just because. I like two of the same. Personally. If that one's already business.
Yeah, I mean, 1,500 square feet or cubic feet, you probably don't need to go PB3000. But it would be better if you can get the PB2000. That's not the Pro, right? Because the Pro is different. So you'd try, I guess, find it used if you can. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know what the tuning is on them. It's just that when you're talking about ported subwoofers, it's easier if they're the same. Because if the port is tuned at a different frequency,
It's harder.
You're
than-
gonna have some issues.
yeah, because the port
Oh.
where the port is, the port tuning, there's a kind of a phase inversion, right?
Yeah.
So if it happens at two different places, it's a little bit hard to deal with EQ. Versus if they're at the same frequency, it's a little bit easier.
So he says it is the Pro. So as long as you can buy the same exact one, then I would go dual in that room.
Yeah.
Instead of the 3,000. Yeah. Buddy says if I use Amazon Alexa more than Google, go with Ring. Okay. I don't use either.
Yeah, I don't know. It works well if you have, depends on your ecosystem, right? So I have a Google, what is it, that hub?
Okay, now this is way too much thought. I just wanted to get a damn thermostat that I can power.
But you're gonna like it, dude.
Doorbell,
When you can do it on your phone and check it, and
I know. But now we're talking about ecosystem, and I'm like, wait, it's Apple.
I'll keep it simple,
right?
I'll keep it simple, right? It just you keep it kind of the same, and a doorbell's awesome because like for you, because if sometimes they need a signature, right? Or at least somebody to acknowledge it.
Dude, these guys are so freaking lazy. They don't do anything, bro. My wife gets her bevs, like this alcohol delivered here. They're just supposed to sign for it. They just leave it, ring the doorbell, and leave.
Dude,
Like,
I
that's
get
it.
stuff all the time in our community, and it's so packages are coming, and I see the tracking. It's like signature required, and I'm like sitting here, and I hear them walk up, and I go to the door, and they drop a $6,000 processor and walk off. I'm like, are you kidding me?
So Michael, do you have a doorbell, like a smart doorbell?
No.
So
I just look at that window right there. I'm like, there's
there you go. Here's where it comes in handy though, is if you're not home, right? And they go there, and sometimes you make, I don't know if you guys ever miss a package because you're not there, but
Yeah.
you see it on the thing, you get notified on your phone, and then you can just talk and say, yeah, just leave
Right.
it there. They don't know if you're
Oh,
home.
really?
I can do it with my Arlo camera, but it's not that great. So
Yeah,
usually
you
by the
say,
time it
"Stop your friend."
connects, by the time I connect, they're gone. You know. So,
Also, it'll show you when there's a package. So you'll get a notification say there's a package, and if you'll get another one when the package is picked up.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude, Cyber Monday deal, $89 for the Nest thermostat.
There you go.
yeah, I think there's a couple of versions too, because I saw one.
Oh,
Yeah, there's like one that's like $200 or 150.
oh, see, this regular is 129. Do I
Mhm.
do I want the
I think
$250
one looks it's like a silver.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
And then the other one's
frost,
maybe
the
white.
fog. They call it
Yeah.
the fog. Oh,
Yeah.
here's one.
So I don't
Third
know the
generation.
difference there.
Is there a fourth generation? Do I need the newest of the new? Well, there is a fourth generation.
Oh, see, we mentioned party earlier, and we got party in the
Mhm.
chat.
Yeah, somebody's handling it.
Yeah, good.
Oh, 69 XXX fun. Okay.
That's
That's what it said.
Oprah Winfrey said he's going Cyber Monday at my front door.
And then what? Nest doorbell? There's
Yeah.
a wired, there's a battery one? Oh god.
yeah.
See,
So
yeah.
it's actually it lasts a long time,
Mhm.
and you just plug it in, USB-C, charge it up, and then throw it back on. That way you don't have to wire anything up.
That's
Right?
cool.
You screw this onto the door, and then that's the
Oh.
one. If somebody takes it, they'll replace it.
Yeah.
So
Second gen.
actually, no, it doesn't make sense to take it because if somebody steals it, they can't use it anymore. Like it's worthless
Right.
because it's attached to your account. So, yeah, it's some cool stuff. You know what's actually cool that we just got is the smart. What do you call it? Smart lock.
Mm-hmm.
So you can just go in with your fingerprint. Like if you
Mhm.
forget your keys,
Mm-hmm.
you can just walk outside. You don't worry. You just put your fingerprint. Dee-dee-dee.
Dude, some of them they're connected to your phone. So literally
Mhm.
when you walk up, the app sees it, it just unlocks it for you.
I don't know if I
Oh,
like
wow.
that. I don't know if I like
Look,
all that because I'm imagining like running, like, oh, this guy's chasing you. And so you get near the door, and then just because you're near it, just unlocks it for him. Like,
So you'd rather be fumbling for your keys, trying to find the right one, stick it in, and then he stabs you.
no, I run in, I put the finger, boom, beep, shut the door, and then we're good.
Ain't
I don't want it to
happening.
be too smart. Some of this stuff is too
hey,
smart. Actually, Junior OG, this one is, I like this particular one that we have because it is dumb enough. So he's saying that it's too easy to hack.
Mhm.
This one is dumb enough where you can't. It's not connected to the internet. That's what I liked about it. I don't want a lock connected to. I don't want to rely on Wi-Fi. You know?
yeah, no.
Where Chana lives, what are you gonna do when the Wi-Fi goes
Dude,
out?
dude, power was out today from like
That's what
2. Like I got home, Sasha's like, "Oh, power just came on." I was like, "Oh, jeez."
Yeah.
She's like, "Check the internet because you got to do your show."
Yeah.
It's so
And make
silly.
sure you have backups. By the way, if you end up doing the smart lock thing,
Mhm.
have a backup way of getting in. Right. So worst case scenario, I can always get in, a different way with a key. You need
They
to.
got this little camera too. Ooh,
That's
this
a
is what-
wired one.
I don't know. It says battery,
Oh, that's a battery one. Okay,
so I can just put that anywhere. Just got to charge battery, right?
you'll love it, dude.
Sasha's like, well, Sasha wanted a something on the side of the house so we can look at the cars because we have a big parking issue with all these stupid tourists.
Oh, dude, I set one of these up and then I wired up a Bluetooth speaker because a lot of times the speaker's really low on them,
Mhm.
and I have it set up so that if somebody goes to the side where they're not supposed to be, near our place,
Mm-hmm.
I have a Bluetooth speaker that plays at max volume. It just plays an alarm. And it's like a little side path where it looks like it could be public,
Mhm.
but it's not, right? And anyway, put up a chain there, and sometimes people just walk up and they just want to rest. They just want to sit down over there. Anyway, the thing goes off, and then they always like, oh, I'm getting out of here. So
this is what you recommend, Joe? The wireless?
yeah, dude, that thing is awesome.
Oh, it comes in a snow color. How fitting.
There you
No,
go.
you gotta match your door. You
Good
gotta
little
match your
nest
door.
battery. So the battery's good.
Dude, that's so useful. Like I'm telling you,
for Google Nest wired second generation.
knowing when your packages are there, and then you know when somebody takes it also.
Yeah.
So if a package is delivered and all of a sudden you get a notification your package is gone, like, oh, what happened? You know what I mean?
Wait, it
Nobody
says your
told-
package is gone from Google. Google will tell you that.
You get a notification that says your package has been picked up. And if it wasn't you, then you know that's probably not good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These are okay prices. $179 for this guy.
Yeah. Is that what we're doing now? Smart home automation?
Yeah.
$250. I mean,
It's a big rabbit hole, man.
yeah.
Definitely a big rabbit hole.
I'm just trying to let me just show you one funny
Wow.
What
thing.
does this guy say? Smart locks. I saw physical key backup. Oh. Don't get so fired up on smart locks. There are lots of street smart people. Uh-oh.
Well, I mean, people can pick locks, right?
Yeah.
So if you really want to talk about trying to get in, they always say locks are to keep honest people out.
Mhm.
Somebody
a
who
will-
really wants to get in there to kick the door in, you know what I mean?
There's
Yeah,
will-
isn't it like, dude, remember back in the day, the car thing, the club? Like,
The club.
do you remember that? And like
The
people were
club
just
was-
sawing the steering
Oh,
wheel
yeah.
and then taking it off. Like it's just
Come
a
on, let's
deterrent.
Hey, did you really carry the club to protect your car or just in case you needed to,
Hit somebody. My dad had that shit.
handle some, you know what I mean? That's really why people carried that.
Reginald says, what if they take your package and your smart doorbell?
It can happen.
Yeah.
But just keep in mind, they cannot pick this one. If it doesn't have a lock to pick, then there's nothing.
Oh yeah, they can't pick the lock.
See what I mean? This is
20.
here. Check this
120,
out.
so it's what, $80 off that. $50, $80 off that. I don't know. Maybe I'll just get the what do you call it first? The thermostat first and move
Look
up
at
from
this.
there.
Angela messaged me because I woke up late today. She's like, this is what happened. I opened the door.
Dang. Yeah.
Ah,
That's how we roll here.
damn.
Anyway, I gotta get going. We should start wrapping up soon.
All right, let's do it. Make sure you guys go and sign up for our Patreon. We're about to go into the live show, and then of course, if you want to listen to the audio only version, go to anchor.fm/daily HiFi. And of course, don't forget we do this every Monday, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for those of you watching on the replay. So make sure you come hang out, ask your questions live. Hopefully all of us will be here. We'll see. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. I don't know. Mike might be off filming a home theater in Germany or Australia next week. Who knows?
I thought you were about to say something different.
And hopefully this thing works next time.
Yes, let's hope. Yeah. Let's test
what
that
it
out
is?
before the show, Joe.
I updated to Ventura, Mac OS Ventura.
Oh, why'd you do
Of
that?
course, that you
Why'd
never
you do
know what's
that?
gonna happen. You update, things stop working. So
Hmm.
I apologize. We'll get it working.
Yeah.
No, not that.
I have no idea what Mike's talking about.
I don't know.
look
He's
at
always laughing about something. He's just
Siphonic.
Michael
sauce.
OF. Michael
No,
OnlyFans.
not that.
oh. All right, guys.
All right,
we
yeah.
gotta go.
So we're gonna jump into the after show in a few minutes. So for those of you that are patrons, we'll see you there. For those of you that are not patrons, we will see you guys next week. Hope you
Have a
have
great
a
week, guys.
great one.